I am motivated beyond belief. I am reconnected to my true self. I am living a life of control. I am a god in this reality. I radiate sex appeal and confidence. I maintain supreme impulse control. I am always calm and relaxed in all situations. Confidence is my true birthright. My features are legendary and desirable. I have bulletproof social confidence. I am capable of anything I set my mind to. I am proud of who I am and what I do. My willpower is always stronger than any temptation I encounter. I resist all temptations as they arise. I take pride in the way I look. I am comfortable in who I am. My passion for life is alive and well. I release the past and focus only on what I am creating here and now. My dopamine stores are replenished more each day. Joy is returning to my life. I do what I must to achieve my goals. Every day I get more and more happier. My eyes are seductive and mesmerizing. My masculinity allows women to be more feminine when in my presence. Others see me as powerful and self-assured. I am dedicated to achieving my goals. I forgive and love myself, even if I encounter what is considered a failure. My goals are what is most important to me. People admire me for my strength of character. People are attracted to my positive and inviting energy. I let go of all cravings. My confidence is rock solid. I need no one's approval and do whatever I please. My voice is powerful and I speak with authority. My eye contact shows my confidence. Women are attracted to me each day. I am proud of my physique and appearance. I can lead any social interactions if I so please. I am irresistibly attractive. I am focused on what is important. I make daily progress towards my goals. I am growing for the better. All women are just naturally attracted to my charisma. All women can feel my sexual energy when they are near me. All desire for old habits is gone. I am free. I hold myself to the highest level of excellence. I can and will improve. I succeed because of my self-discipline. I choose high energy and affirm my success in life. I succeed because of my self-discipline. I choose high energy and affirm my success in life. I am living a life free of temptation. Sexual control is my true force of strength. My energy is vibrating with energy and inner power. I am motivated beyond belief. I am reconnected to my true self. I am living a life of control. I am a god in this reality. I radiate sex appeal and confidence. I maintain supreme impulse control. I am always calm and relaxed in all situations. Confidence is my true birthright. My features are legendary and desirable. I have bulletproof social confidence. I am capable of anything I set my mind to. I am proud of who I am and what I do. My willpower is always stronger than any temptation I encounter. I resist all temptations as they arise. I take pride in the way I look. I am comfortable in who I am. My passion for life is alive and well. I release the past and focus only on what I am creating here and now. My dopamine stores are replenished more each day. Joy is returning to my life. I do what I must to achieve my goals. Every day I get more and more happier. My eyes are seductive and mesmerizing. My masculinity allows women to be more feminine when in my presence. Others see me as powerful and self-assured. I am dedicated to achieving my goals. I forgive and love myself, even if I encounter what is considered a failure. My goals are what is most important to me. People admire me for my strength of character. People are attracted to my positive.
Ooh, our brother. So we have a special Mirka, I see you. I see you in the house. All right, I see you in the house. Hang on one second. Hang on one second. There we go. All right, so ambition matters. I can hear you, but I definitely can't see your camera.
What about now? Because I can see myself now.
Okay, you can see yourself. Hang on one quick second. All right, hang on. We're gonna do something. Now, what's up, brother? Hold on, I'm a crop you in. Put you right into this frame. You have a whole studio there, bro.
Yeah, it's a little something.
Huh?
Yeah, it is. It's something that I've been working on for a while.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good, man. Let's do on top of it, right here. We're gonna leave you up here. All right, and we're gonna bring. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I bring all your text. I don't know. Okay. And then if we do 0.1. All right, cool. So what's up, brother? Everything is said. But that's what happens with technology. I don't know why your camera feed was not coming up. But it's good to see you. You have a whole studio there. This is great. So we're waiting for a YouTube channel, bro. Is that what you're working on?
I know. You know what? I think it's the browser that I'm using. So what I'll do, because I'm on Brave browser, and it's
on what?
It's on Brave browser.
Okay, I have no idea what that is.
I think it has a Brave browser. It's a cryptocurrency browser, but
okay.
I'm gonna use another browser. So I'm going to. Oh, there I am.
Yeah. So I get the feed though. I'll just have to go back to whatever my main. I had to crop this camera as a new overlay as opposed to whatever I already had set. So we're good for now. So the rest will be for me, but for you, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I can see myself a little bit.
All right, cool. So it's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you finally. The man with a lot of wisdom. I'm actually very excited. You probably I think you're the only guy that I've talked to with the concept of sex energy is for action, or is the source of action. I was just on the phone with a client, my last client before my life. Monday is my coaching day, heavily from 12 all the way to before this live, and I told him to tune in, and I told him, of course, sex energy is the source for action. I'm sure you have had that experience where you fapped so much that even if you wanted to prop yourself up, perk yourself up, you couldn't because your energy was low. You couldn't do it. But when your semen is high, it seems as though you at your command, you can will yourself to have some energy and to take action.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with some of the things that you've taught. Was when you do ejaculate, a part of you goes, like your soul, your personality. A lot of things go, and that's why the mind is confused. Because the best blood in our body goes straight to our reproductive system.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're dissipating this energy, what happens is that we tend to, you know, like, how can I say it? When we dissipate this energy, we become discombobulated, as in like, and our internal liabilities, which is self-doubt, you know, all of these negative thoughts keep coming because of this dissipating this energy. You don't have this will, this
Right.
strong will, and when that personality goes, it starts to affect all the attributes that have to do with your characteristic traits.
Give me one quick second. I think my internet is doing something. I have two different internet speed. Let me just switch over to the faster one or to the other one actually. See, because it's on my end. I'm playing YouTube straight from YouTube and it's buffering, although it's not buffering at my end. Give me one quick second for that. All right.
No problem.
Good right now. So, brother, tell me or tell us a little bit about your background. So, background in terms of this work that we are engaged in, NoFap semen retention. When did you start? How'd you come across NoFap? Just a synopsis so that we can take it from there and let you teach. How did you start? The level of damage on your experience, and how'd you come across NoFap and semen retention, and where you are on your journey right now? Of course, you do have a lot of knowledge, a lot of revelation. I'm convinced that you are practicing semen retention. And just give us a synopsis, and then we'll take it from there and give you the floor to start sharing all these profound insights that you have been dropping on my lives.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm 35, turning 36 next month. I think I did mention this before. I am a Gemini, right?
Yeah, you did.
So when I was 30 years old, I would say that I found out about this NoFap semen retention thing. And, you know, it's been a long journey. You know, just because you are practicing or you're a practitioner of semen retention doesn't mean that you have, you know, 30 days or a year straight. It's an uphill battle, right? And I think what it is the journey and the process of climbing that mountain. That's why when you've I wouldn't say master this, because we're always one decision away from failure, you know? So I would say that on this journey to climbing this mountain, at some point, you're going to feel like you're on top of the world, right? You're on top of the mountain. You've been climbing this Mount Everest, right? And you're like, man, life feels a lot better being up here on top of the mountain, right? And so when you do relapse or you encounter a relapse, what happens is you fall off from that mountain and you're back into the bottom of the wilderness. And now you're climbing this mountain back up again. So for me, it was an ongoing journey, and a big part of my life, I've taken this practice and I've been using it, and I'm getting better and better and better. More progress leads to more happiness, and I realized that when you have a lot of energy, you discipline becomes very easy, because I realized that when you don't have a lot of energy, it's hard to be disciplined. Your mind plays tricks on you. Self-deception leads to self-destruction. That's what I always say. And when your willpower is not there, even though I don't rely on willpower, I don't think willpower can save you from this. However, I do believe that it's not enough. I do believe your environment is more stronger than your willpower. So, like keeping your room door open, keeping all devices out. Like you can create that environment. The environment is what allows you to overcome this, and it really is an addiction. And the thing is, a lot of us young men, we don't know why we're addicted to this, because this need, addiction doesn't create the addict. It's the need to escape reality. Right? And, so let's just say that, things are not going your way. Your investment, is not benefiting you, or, you've lost your ROI, your return on an investment, or that book deal didn't work out for you, or that relationship didn't work out for you, or you got fired from your job, or whatever it is. You're trying to seek peace. You're trying to seek peace from this reality, and you're escaping yourself from this reality. But the thing is, you're only aggravating it. You're only delaying it more and more. It's like deferred. All of these problems are deferred until you actually put your big boy pants on and look at it head to head. So for me, it's been a long process, a long journey, and I haven't mastered it. I know that, like I said, we're always one decision away from success or failure. So every day you have to attend to your garden and make sure there's no weeds growing in your garden.
I like that. Brother Ambition Matters, do you have YouTube playing in the background? I'm getting feedback from you.
Yes, I do. Let me just pop that there. Okay, much better.
Yeah, thank you. And so it's good to have you. I'm looking forward to and waiting for any work in this area. It doesn't necessarily have to be a channel. And of course, a YouTube channel is one of the media that you can touch guys out there. Okay. But whether you go back to your blog, or whether you write a book or you finish that book, actually, I'm still getting that feedback.
You are?
Yeah. I'm still getting it. So how do you have headphones? However you're hearing me, that's how I'm getting the feedback.
Okay, I do have headphones. Just give me a second.
Go ahead.
Give me a second here.
Welcome. We encountered a little technical difficulty on Men's Superpower TV tonight, but that's not going to stop us. Here we are. And so we didn't get to do our regular main intro. The program jumped straight to the main scene, and that's okay, baby. We just want to be perfect around here. We just want to have a good quality of content. It doesn't matter if it's no FAP or semen retention. We want to do something that pleases us as men of excellence. And so we're still here. The man is sitting in his studio, and we are excited. I see a lot of you guys are here, about 8 of you. Give me some more likes. It's good to see you. Sawyer, my brother. There we go. Sawyer is my client. Hey, give me a 1, Sawyer. Let me know if you're still in the chat. He's my client, and he was the last guy I was on the phone with before the show. And he left me a voice message about how grateful he is of the work that I've been doing with him. So he's still here. There we go. And then I took that voice message and I added to my new Men Superpower TV spot, my new intro that's coming up, and it sounds something like this.
David, let's go! Get after your goals! Make that money today! Let's go! Man, I owe you the world right now, dude. Like, I think your services are way undervalued.
The most interesting man in the world.
This is a crazy ass testimony. Oh, David, let's go!
Man's super.
Davis, let's go. That was very genuine, and I thought I'd use that. So thank you for that. So we are here with Ambition Matters. This man has been dropping a lot of gems, a lot of insights about this journey in the comment section every time we have a live, and we wanted to bring him on, and he is here. He's just looking for a pair of headsets so that we don't have a feedback, because I guess he was listening back to me on his speakers. And of course, whenever you do that, the speaker is going to come back into his mic. So, which makes it hard for me on this end. And we are going to talk. So, any regulars in the house? Merka, what up? Merka, I'm going to send you, Merka, you fell off the earth, bro. You left me unseen on Instagram, I think. No? I think you left me unseen, bro. Oh man. Anyway, Merka is working on some merch for me, some design. He's redesigning my logo, which I like. We just need to tweak it a little bit, but I do like the new design. I appreciate that. Merka is also designing merch, a t-shirt. This is my prototype t-shirt for Men Superpower. I've worn it a couple of times, but it's the first and only shirt I have, and he's designing some shirts with some slogans that I have been saying on this show, and some of his slogans too, and so forth and so on. We are happy for the direction that Men Superpower is taking, the guys that are coming on. I am very appreciative of you guys. You guys are very engaging, very engaged with me. This is how I measure my work. It's not so much how many views do I get, but it's what's the quality of engagement from those views, right? So thank you, Merka. I appreciate that. And Merka, you are in line to come on live. You are in line to come and talk to us. And please don't tell me English is not your first language. English is my fourth language, and I'm still here, bro. And I started speaking English at 24. I came to America at 22. I went to school, what they call ESL. I didn't really begin to speak English until 25, 26. So I still have an accent. Hell yeah, we'll continue to have one. So accent is not a problem. We'll bring you on. Let's do this. What's that supposed to mean, bro? Let's go, Man Superpower.
I appreciate the Man Superpower.
Man's superpower.
The man's superpower.
Man Superpower, bless.
Man's superpower.
So, David, let's go! Get after your goals! Make that money today! Let's go! Man, I owe you the world right now, dude. Like, I think your services are way undervalued.
The most interesting man in the world.
This is a crazy ass testimony. Oh, David, let's go.
Welcome to Man's Superpower. Feel your power, bro. Feel your power, bro. Welcome to Men's Superpower. We are here with Ambition Matters, young men from Toronto, Canada. Yes, give me a nod. There we go. Is it Toronto?
Yes.
Yes, there we go. Got some headphones. You got some good headphones too. Yeah, keep those near. Keep those in the studio.
All right. Any feedback on my side here?
Nope. So long you're on the headphones, you're not on the speakers. There'll be no feedback. We're good.
Perfect. I'm glad we figured that out.
Yes. We're good. And of course, this is your first time. I'm hoping that's not your last time. For me, I'm open. This is, I think my channel is the only channel that's open to other guys and not a one-man show. I think this work is to help men. It's to embrace as many men as possible. So I'm even happy to see your studio, bro. Your project,
This is my man cave. Man cave.
Yeah.
Right. I can see your man cave right there.
Right. I've gone through many studio setup. I've moved. So, in fact, today I went through all of my videos to look at my progress. To look at my progress on the journey, and to see where I came from in terms of studio setting.
Mm-hmm.
So, bro, let's get right into your discussion for tonight. So I didn't get an email back from you on the arrangement of the topics, but of the
you
points,
know what?
rather.
Well, I think you listed the 3 and the bonus. Am I correct?
Yes. You did see that one, right?
Yeah, and you know what? That's fine. I mean, we'll just go off freestyle here, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the viewers will take so much value from it. So I mean, I think it'll work out.
Yeah. So my new format is 1.5 hour, if anything 2 hours, no more than that. So that's what I've been working on. I have succeeded, and so cutting 5 points down to 3 points is to help the time, and also you can always work the rest of the points into the explanations of these current points. So let's start with point number 1, the power of enthusiasm. So you go on that.
So I mean, enthusiasm is the ability to excite yourself, to move yourself, to be self-motivated. It's like a lot of us, we don't have enthusiasm. We can't excite ourselves if we don't have any desires in our life. And I think what this path does is it allows you to, tap into this excitement. As in, I'm excited for no reason, And I think it's a beautiful way to live when you're excited for no reason. While everybody's down, while everybody is talking, about uncertainty or whatever it is, you're still excited because a big part of you is optimistic. No matter what the situation or circumstances is, you're guided by an invisible force. And this power of enthusiasm, it allows you to tap into this energy. And I believe the higher your energy, because a lot of us, we don't even know how visceral our body can be. I think fapping and dissipating this energy, what it does is that it desensitizes our nervous system.
Right.
So our nervous system doesn't have the ability to feel those overwhelming, desires. Like you really feel like you really feel like you're in that house or that vision you have, that relationship, that car, the money. It's one thing to think about it, but it's a whole other thing to feel it. So I believe it comes from this magnetic force, because the feeling is a magnetic field. And when you have this power of enthusiasm, it allows you to just move, and you start to activate the law of polarity, the law of attraction. Things that require so much effort start to seem like they're effortless now.
True.
So I mean, that's what I would say about enthusiasm. And now I've read Think and Grow Rich, but I also listened to the audio version of Earl Nightingale condensed Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I believe the book Think and Grow Rich was written 1937, right? This is a man who was ahead of his time, because, you know, like the controversy of talking about sex transmutation, like forget about now, but back then, it must have been really hard. So I would say Napoleon had a lot of courage to talk about this power of magnetism and sexual transmutation. Now, when you listen to the condensed form of Earl Nightingale, he doesn't talk about sexual transmutation. Mm-hmm. He talks about he uses enthusiasm instead of sex transmutation.
I love this. I actually love what I'm hearing from you. It's like we went to the same school of self-development or of understanding of NoFap and semen retention in this journey. So I've heard that enthusiasm, the root word entheos, a Greek entheos, means in God, in divine space, in the presence of God, in the presence of the cosmos. It's a state of oneness with the cosmos. It's a state of a flow. Like you just said, things that seemed full of effort in the past when your energy was low suddenly now feels effortless, because you are in theos, you are in the presence of God, you are empowered, and you are in tune with the universe. So I don't remember the program that I've heard, but it must have been Jim Ron that says actually enthusiasm is the number one reason. It accounts about 80% of success, because without enthusiasm, you can't take action. You cannot move people. You cannot influence people. You can't even speak on a channel, have a YouTube channel and influence anybody or make any real connection without enthusiasm. So how has your enthusiasm bettered your journey? In terms of, you mentioned the law of attraction. Yes, you mentioned the polarity, rhythm. So how has that, in practical terms, do you have one example of how your enthusiasm has bettered your experience in practical ways living this life?
Okay, so I used to do sales. I used to do closing calls. And sometimes the products that I would sell, people wouldn't buy the products, but they would buy my personality.
Hold on. Yeah, that deserved it. Continue.
Yes. So one thing I realized is that insurance is the hardest thing to sell.
Correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. So insurance has to be sold to someone. You know, people just don't buy insurance.
Right.
The life insurance or anything like that. It has to be sold. Right. So, you know, I think when you have this ability to communicate, you know, in a very clear manner, but to the point where you're making it so clear to the person, basically what you are is you're the bridge between where they're at and where they want to be. Mm-hmm. Right? No matter what product you're selling, no matter what service you're selling, at the end of the day, it always comes down to the person on the other end who is closing or selling you the product. If that person has good personality, and that's what people feed off of people's energy. So what it is that they're actually buying my energy, my essence, you know, and
Nah, man, no. Let's stay here for a second, bro. Let's stay here for a second. Because of course you're a Gemini, I'm an Aquarius. We share air together, the air element, which is intellectuality, first of all. So enthusiasm goes a lot with air signs. I don't know, if you've gotten that far.
No, I do actually. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So there's a correlation there, and of course, and so we tend to be sales individuals, right? So I've been a salesman all my life. I mean, from 17, I've been organizing business activities, sales, having sales as the foundation. So we've had sales training. I have lots of books. Recently, I came across The Power of Selling by Brian Tracy. And so people don't purchase the product, and that's why I applauded you. People don't purchase products as much as they purchase you, your personality, your energy, your enthusiasm. So my biggest sales job was I was a sales consultant at CarMax. Do they have CarMax? Is CarMax in Canada?
CarMax. I never heard of it.
CarMax is the largest U.S. Used car retailer in America. Like, they have tons of cars in one lot, and they have tons of lots around any state across the America. Okay. And I was making near 10 grand. And really, it came easy because I had that job 1.5 years into Semen Retention. And of course, it was a combination of my prior years of sales experience coupled with Semen Retention, my enthusiasm, my magnetism, everything were so high. If a customer comes in and they talk to me first, eventually, if they're going to buy, they're going to buy with me. Or when they're ready to buy, they're coming back to buy with me. So I love that, because when I was asking you the question, I was also visualizing after you answer me for me to give my practical ways that enthusiasm has manifested in my life in helping me practically in living this life. That's in sales. That's in being able to convince individuals, talking to people. So I appreciate you making that one of the main points that you would talk about, because on FAP, on PMO, we don't have enthusiasm. So therefore, you're not magnetic. You're lethargic. You're barely moving around. You're barely visible. You're always yawning, and you're tired. That's not a magnetic person. That person cannot sell. That person cannot attract nothing. I appreciate that.
No problem, brother.
Yeah. And so the brothers who are listening here can benefit something from your teaching here, to understand that semen retention has practical values way more than female attraction. Of course, a lot of the guys, I mean, you're 30, right?
35, yeah.
35, yeah. I mean, 35, so you're mature. A lot of the guys are youngsters. They want to know how to retain so they can get their erection back so that they can go and pursue women. So they have not equated semen retention as a tool to be used to generate magnetism, to generate enthusiasm, and to get into their profession so they can influence people and get that sale. And so, and that's one of the things that I do here on this channel. I like to say, man, I don't talk about female attraction, because when you're doing well, women are gonna come. When you're doing well, you're gonna have your choice of women.
But now, if anybody is doing semen retention or no fat because of women attraction, they're not going to have enough fuel. They're not going to have enough ammo. It's not strong enough to overcome this addiction. If you're just doing it because of women attraction, you don't have what it takes. So that's why I say I think people should do this to tap into their full potential, opposed to actually trying to attract the opposite gender. Yeah, that's a benefit. But that is not the purpose.
That's a benefit, but that is not the purpose. I like that. It's a benefit of the journey, but it's not the purpose of the journey. I actually love that statement. This is golden. This is golden.
Well, I told you when we get on, this is going to be burning.
Yes. This is golden.
I told you.
This is golden.
Right?
It's a benefit. Female attraction is a benefit of NoFap and semen retention particularly, but it's not the purpose of the practice. Yeah, this is golden. This is golden. I hope you guys heard that. And so, fellas, do you have any question for Ambition Matters on his first point of discussion, the power of enthusiasm? Do you lack enthusiasm in your day-to-day life? Are you lethargic? Do you go around without the necessary motive power, enthusiasm, being in theos, being in the presence of the cosmos? If you have any question for him, just send your questions right now before we move on to his second point. Motivation. Merka says motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you going. Absolutely.
Yes, and again, that's a quote from Jim Rohn. So I think a lot of what we say, they're philosophies, because in our life can be altered by changing our own philosophy. And a lot of that has to do with how we perceive the world. So I love that gem that he just dropped.
So he deserves a DJ Horn, huh? That's my boy.
Merka. Yes. I see. I actually see him on the chat quite often.
Yes.
Hope to meet you someday, brother. But I mean, he's definitely a person who is committed to this journey.
He is designing. He's a what are you, Merka? He's a graphic designer. Yeah, oh my God, graphic designer. And he's been redesigning my logo, which I like. And he's also working on some graphics for some merchandise for me, t-shirts particularly. So yes, I appreciate the brother very much. Any questions, guys? Any questions on Ambition Matters' first point, the power of enthusiasm? But guys, don't sit on that now. Don't think that has no value for you. Enthusiasm accounts for 80% of success. And I think I've heard that from Jim Rohn. I can't tell you for sure because I've listened to so many audios of Jim Rohn. It's not even funny. We're talking about over 10 years now. And so but I'm sure I can attribute that statement to him. 80% of success comes from enthusiasm. The ability to excite yourself, like the brother says, the ability to move yourself and being able to influence somebody else, particularly in business and even in pursuing women too. Not even actually, in pursuing women also, if that's what you want to do. Like the brother just said, female attraction is a benefit of the journey, but it's not the purpose of the journey. So you need enthusiasm, in fact, to get with girls. In fact, the guy that we call alpha is the guy who's full of enthusiasm in that sense. It's easy for him to just get along with girls and have a conversation and live with numbers and get with them without struggle. So do not discount the power of enthusiasm. And it is something you can only get really when your energy is high on this journey. So thank you, brother, for sharing that with us. And now we can move on to our second point, which is emotional intelligence. Now, let me lay the foundation for this. Well, not laying the foundation, but let me share something with you. I haven't heard many men talk about emotional intelligence. And of course, because the way men were brought up in this society, emotions is something that we've learned to shun. Emotion is something that we don't want to deal with. Until I dealt with my emotions, I didn't grow much until I began to accept my emotions. And so emotional intelligence is something I came across years ago, and I have learned to develop. And so it's one of the things that caused me to respect a man. If a man mentions emotional intelligence, I know you're going somewhere. I know you're getting respect in your life. So I wanted to commend you on that. And let's see what you have to say, bro.
Well, first of all, thank you, David. I appreciate that.
Indeed.
Now with emotional intelligence, I think, like you said, a lot of us men, like, hey, we're built tough. You know, we shouldn't be talking about emotions. But the thing is, a strong man understands how to manage these emotions. And if your emotions, if you can't manage your emotions, that means the whole world can manipulate you. Right? So when your emotions are in chaos, what happens? We want to run away. When we're in a relationship and the woman that we're in a relationship starts to nag at us, what do? We run away from that instead of just listening, observing, and just being present. And your presence alone will start to ground that chaos. So for me, emotional intelligence is understanding empathy, having the ability to understand someone before you pass judgment onto them, right? Having the ability to be emotionally mature, because a lot of men today are they're men, but they're still boys because they haven't mastered that emotional intelligence, that emotional maturity you need. Like, I'll think of it like this. Some of my friends are crypto and stock and Forex investors. And a lot of what they say is money has nothing to do with IQ. It has everything to do with emotional intelligence. And your behavior is more important than what you know in most cases. But the thing about behavior is that it's so hard to teach.
Keep going, bro. No. I have a Christian background. I have a pastoral background, and when things hit hard, it's like you go in the spirit, so like. But keep going, like, no. Yeah. Oh gosh, this is deep.
So back to what I was saying. So emotional intelligence, we shouldn't be bottling up our emotions. So let's just say nice guys. Why do they say nice guys finish last? Because nice guys put other people first before they put themselves first. But I'll say that there's nothing wrong with being selfish. There's nothing wrong, because when you're in an airplane, do they tell you to put that other person's mask on or put your own mask on?
Yours.
Exactly. You can't help the world if you can't help yourself.
Yes.
And if somebody tells you that you're selfish for doing that, what they don't understand is
thank you.
Yes, say thank you. Yes. So own it. Yes, I am selfish. I am self-focused, because if I can take care of myself, I can take care of others.
Yeah.
Right?
Some of the best ideas. Oh, go ahead.
And I was going to say that I think a lot of men don't understand that capacity is, hey, if I can harness this emotion, if I can have the ability just to ground this chaos with presence, you could move forward in life. And a man truly is how he behaves around uncertainty. That's when you really see what the man is. Right? So if you want to watch a man and a boy, just look at them, how they behave around uncertainty.
A man is how he behaves around uncertainty. Let's go back to the reference of your colleagues around cryptocurrency, right? You said they say what a lot of business or a lot of money management has nothing to do with knowledge, but IQ, but intelligence, emotional intelligence, right?
That's right.
Here is what I've said, and the reason I'm going back to that is because it resonates with me so deeply. I remember when I began to take control of my money. You know what I've said, bro? I've said there is no such thing as money management. There is emotional management in finances. I just came up with that with myself because I realized what helped me to manage my money was not learning to manage the money. It was learning to manage my emotions, actually, that helped me to manage my money. Because, for example, it doesn't matter what I knew about money, information proper, but if my emotions said, go and purchase that item, and actually I couldn't stopped myself and I did purchase that item that I did not need, but I just wasted some money. So it didn't matter how many money management principles I knew, my emotions would trump that. For example, women. We know women spend a lot when they are in the dumps emotionally, but it doesn't matter what she knows. Where right now, women have more knowledge than men. Women have completed more degrees in college than men. So, but women are still spending emotionally. So it's not the intellectual knowledge that's lacking, but it's the emotional intelligence. That's great, man. That's great. I think I would want to give you an early invitation to come back and to talk about cryptocurrency. I think I am in the dark. I am Ray Charles when it comes to crypto.
Oh, you know what's funny? I think so. I know Ambition Matters was a blog that I was working on a long time ago. You know, but then what I did was I started writing another blog based on cryptocurrency, and it was called Crypto Bachelor, and I had the price tickers and everything. And then Pimo got in the way. So I do cryptocurrency is my circle of competence, the future of money, you know, and literally smart money being simplified. I think cryptocurrency goes over the head of most people because they don't understand. And I think the markets are set up in a way to confuse people, so the average person can't come in and make money.
I am inviting you, and you are. It's more than just an invitation. It's also asking you and requesting, which means you've already said yes by virtue of my request to come back to share with us. Just so you know, I like to tell my guests I don't make money off YouTube. So a lot of times what happens when a guy is very interesting and you want to work with him, his carnal mind might start getting him thinking where you want his work because that helps, but there's no such thing here. Like I said, you've sent a lot of super chats, right? And I've told you your super chats are gonna help me to get paid. And of course, I didn't get paid this month because I didn't make $100. YouTube has a threshold of $100. If you don't make $100 for the month, they're not gonna send you a check. So my next bet is May 23rd. I'm definitely going to get paid because I think I have about $112 now. I will get paid. But this is just for the sake of men. This is just for the sake of the manosphere, so that this information remains out there in the circle of NoFap and Semen Retention. Because I'm sure talking about cryptocurrency and emotional intelligence, perhaps the average guy does not expect that to be a discussion in this circle, NoFap and Semen Retention. But then, as we have said, bro, as your title says, Semen Retention is the source for action. I like to say, it doesn't matter what you have learned. It doesn't matter how many books you have read. And this is my experience. It doesn't matter how many books you've read, how many conferences you've attended. It doesn't matter how many concepts and scientific formulas you've learned. All that will go down the drain with your next PMO session. What you've been saying, brother, even in the chat, and now you just recently said it, or you alluded to it earlier, you started the blog, PMO got in the way. You started writing a book, PMO got in the way. So then PMO, so fixing PMO, recovering from this journey is paramount if we are to have any success at all.
You and I, both of us, believe in that. A lot of us who are still engaging in this PMO practice is like moving with life with the emergency brakes on. Yes. Once the emergency brakes comes off, limitless. Things happen effortlessly. And I will say that this is the biggest problem that you can solve, because without this, you have no foundation to success.
Yeah. You don't have any foundation for success without NoFap and Semen Retention. As the brother says, as his title says, Sex Energy is the source for action. I like to say on Sex Energy, you get inspiration, and inspiration is motivation for action. So we're saying the same things, just in different words.
Yes.
I mean,
the thing is when you have when you generate that kind of energy, you can't help but take action. You just can't. And so basically what you are is an energy generator. And people all around you are all zombies. They have low energy and they're feeding off of your energy, you know, because you're this power plant, this nuclear plant for everybody.
Bruh, I'm saying to myself, it's either, but I actually believe the latter, right? The latter of what I'm about to say. I'm saying it backwards. It's either you have watched all of my videos times over, or we've had similar recovery journey. But I believe the latter.
You know, it's actually both. I do listen to a lot of your videos, especially when I'm driving, right? Sometimes, you know, like, even though you might have like 4 or 5 or 10 people who's listening live, but you just never know who you're inspiring. You just never know who you're reaching to. So, you know, I've looked at a lot of content out there, but I haven't seen content like this that puts it in so much depth. You have obviously a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and I just can't wait for you to have your own tribe one day, because I think what you're doing right now is it has much more bigger purpose. You know, you're actually helping people you'll never meet. And what happens is that all those video recordings that you have eventually will start to take on its own. And I always say this, we're always 2 feet away from goal. And
you told me that.
And yeah, we're always 2 feet away from gold. And I think the one of the best attributes that we can all have is not giving up. Thomas Edison always said the same thing. He says, you know, my ability to not give up was probably the strongest attribute that I had. And then Jay-Z said, you know, I went to record labels after record labels, and I've been rejected. But the genius thing I've done was,
I've heard that.
I never gave up.
Yes, I've heard that.
Right? If he could have gave up, right? Because when things are not happening, we just, you know, like, oh, you know, things are not working out. I don't see any progress. You don't have to see progress. You're literally driving in a fog or mist. You can only see 2 meters ahead of you, but you can't see the whole entire. You can't even see the whole entire road. So that's how life is. You know, I think that there is no future for the unfaithful.
Well, you need a church. You need a pulpit, bro. You need a platform. Of course, you can start with a YouTube channel. You need a platform. you do.
It's coming. It's coming.
You do. Of course, you're a Gemini. Nothing that I'm not used to, like the grandeur of intellect is crazy. If you guys want to know who else is Gemini, Kanye West, and no, he's not crazy. And Tupac actually was a Gemini too. So if you want to gauge how these guys are, this is how you gauge. I mean, people are still astonished at how much knowledge young Tupac had at his age. I mean, crazy amount of knowledge.
I know. A lot of people don't even know this, but Biggie also was a Gemini.
Oh, damn.
Right.
Of course, you guys are highly creative. So, man, yeah, I'm finally happy to get the chance to be on camera with you. We have about 13 guys, so that's a good number. That means our discussion is very good. Guys, give us a few more likes. Do you have any question for Ambition Matters? This is a great young man who has done the work. I respect the man because he's done the work. I bring 2 kinds of guys on this platform. A guy that I know, my energy tells me, my spirit tells me this man has done the work. That means he has something to share with us. He has something to teach you, and even to inspire me also. And second kind of guy is a guy who's still in the journey, but he's honest with himself. I'll bring both of these guys on this platform. So it's good to have this brother here. Give us a few likes, send your questions. Right now, he's discussing point number 2 of his presentation, emotional intelligence. He says in the business circle, in cryptocurrency, his colleagues and him believe that money management is more than, say that one more time, bro. I don't want to misquote you.
No, it's okay. So whether it's cryptocurrency, the forex market, the stock market, when it comes to trading, it has nothing to do with what you know. It has nothing to do with your education. It has everything to do with how you behave and how you manage your emotions.
And you
So
said,
so so I would say that how you behave is way more important than what you know when it comes to dealing with money.
how you behave is way more important than what you know. And earlier you said something. You said behavior cannot be taught. Now I've read this book on change, organizational change, right? And but chapter number 3 is the longest chapter in that book that talks about the problem with implementing change in an organization has nothing to do with lack of money or lack of concept or lack of willpower, lack of determination. No, you cannot teach people behavioral change is among the hardest things to do. Why is that you think you cannot teach behavior change?
Because we're so analytical, our 5 senses is what dictates our circumstances. And to go beyond our 5 senses, we have to tap into our own psychology, because at the end of the day, it's our habits, our behavior, the neural pathways that have been rewired over and over that are firing the same way, that's causing you to do the same thing, that's producing the unwanted results, and you don't know why. Right? So, that's why it's so hard to break a habit, right? Because our neural pathways have a connection. So, when you look into the brain, by the way, I'm not a neurologist or anything like that, but I have read a lot of books on it, a lot of topics.
Right.
And what they say is that our neural pathway, when we do something over and over, the neural pathway starts to connect like a relationship, and that's what creates a habit. Right. So now if you want to break a habit, you have to divorce these neural pathways, and that's why it's so hard. That's why it's so hard. And you can't get rid of a habit, but you can change your habit. So you have to override it with a new neural pathway that has to fire over and over. And they say 21 days to 30 days of doing something, that's what creates a new habit, because those neural pathways have to fire and rewire for that much length. So again, so behavior is the same thing. That's why you can't teach behavior. Behavior comes from repetition.
Correct.
The power of repetition, right? Because our what we do, that is either we're repeating or we're evolving, right? And I always say that a lot of us were repeating the same mistakes over and over. You see, the definition of insanity, you and I both know, is expecting a different result but doing the same thing over and over and over. And that's 80% of us on this planet. We don't know why we do that, but that's to peel the onion layer of human nature. We have to understand that sometimes we deceive ourselves in thinking that we can change. So we set ourselves up for failure when we don't work on our own behavior.
I like that, bro. I like that. So there is a common statement in neuroplasticity that you referred to. I mean, we are not, none of us, well, you and I both are not neuroscientists, but we have read, researched, and carefully investigated neuroscience and NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, and neuroplasticity. So that, I mean, really, if you are to recover successfully on this journey, and I like to use successfully at the end of recovery, right? If you have to recover successfully, you have to have some sort of preliminary or foundational understanding of neuroplasticity. They say neurons that fire together stay together. They if they fire together, they wire together. That's the statement. Neurons that fire together wire together. So birds of a feather flock together, right? And so unless we decouple those neurons so that they stop firing together, they will continue to wire together, which means they will continue to produce the same behaviors day in and day out, which is wiring and firing together. So there is a reciprocal relationship between firing and wiring together. I'm loving the depth of this conversation, and I think that we're actually just touching the tip of the iceberg. So I am looking forward to other sessions with you, so we can actually take one of these concepts and go in depth with them on them. And also want to invite you back for a session on cryptocurrency. I know a lot of the young guys want to understand that, want to have that understanding. I appreciate that. Hey guys, do you have any questions for Ambition Matters? You've seen him in the comments. He's sent a lot of super chat every time he stopped by, which I appreciate greatly. And we had been looking forward to having a show with him tonight. And he's here. In French, we would say, chair en os, in flesh. Well, not in person in my studio, but in his studio in Toronto, Canada. Give it up for Canada. We like those guys. The other day I was trying to remember the name of that channel that I was talking about, referring to, was the Academy of Ideas. This gentleman, very successful YouTube channel, is in Canada. Academy of Ideas. It's a powerful channel, very knowledgeable.
Evan, you said Evan Carmichael as well?
Yes, yeah, Evan Carmichael, yeah.
Even Jordan Peterson, he's from Toronto.
JP, right? Right. We have the Manosphere guy, the entrepreneurs in cars, Rich Cooper. He's there.
Yeah, Rich Cooper.
Yeah, it took me a minute to understand. Wait a minute, a lot of heavy hitters on YouTube are actually located in Canada. Respect for Canada. Like, yeah, hell yeah.
Not even a lot of content creators, but what about musicians? We got Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, and the Drake out here.
Yes, Drake. Chew that.
I mean, his house is literally 15 minutes away on a drive, but you can literally see it when you're driving through these mansions.
That's good.
Right.
Hey fellas, if you like this content and you want to support me, just like my brother did the other day, just use this Cash App, because we get it right away. Anything that helps pay the electricity, the internet, or this program, we would appreciate it. We have the Cash App here, $ Menskindgom. We would greatly appreciate the support. We don't do it for that, but everything in this world requires money to operate. You better believe for the past year and a half, this production has been operated primarily, entirely on me. And I am very, very happy to do so. There's no, it's an investment that I'm willing to make, that I will make any time. The majority part, or the biggest part of the investment, is actually my time and my energy. It's not even the money that I spent in acquiring equipment and all that, but it's my time and energy. I love to do it because, like I always tell you guys, when I was recovering, or when I was in PMO period, I wish there was a guy out there doing what I'm doing. And so I've learned in the church, in my leadership training, the problem that you have that you haven't found a solution for, then you have been called to create that solution. Sir Richard Branson, right? The Virgin guy. He needed what is it? An airline, private airline, where he decided to create one. These guys, they needed a product that they think should have been existed, just like Steve Jobs. He thinks cell phone should be a touch screen. Well, he made one. You have Elon Musk. You have so many guys. So problems that you have, that solutions, it seems solutions have not existed yet, you are called to provide the solution. And so this is the philosophy behind me doing this work. And like the brother just says, like Ambition Matters just said, he's been through, on a lot of channels on this work, NoFap and Semen Retention, but he has not come across a channel that goes in depth and that spends so much time, and that seems to be just for the hell of it, just for the love of it, just for the passion of it. And here I am.
I would say you have your own ecosystem. You know, your like our power in this universe is in our own uniqueness.
Yeah.
It's in our own uniqueness and our own authenticity. When we're competing with others, we're copying others. But when we're authentic and unique, we're original.
When we are authentic and unique, we are original.
Original.
Everybody else is already taken. We might as well be ourselves.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you for sharing these words. Hey, J Boss is in the house. He's saying, don't even count days. It's a lifestyle. Let's do it. Just hard not to have sex or keep women around. LOL. Still working on that. SR. Hashtag SR. Let's do it, bro. Stay on the journey. Just being here on the channel is a blessing to you, and we appreciate it. Come back. Ambition Matters. There's a comment or a question. Let's see what it is. Ambition Matters. You said in a previous cast, we need to learn how to channel our obsession in the right direction. Are you suggesting a dopamine detox of sort? PMO, no cell phone, no TV, no YouTube, etc., and only become obsessed / in love with your work? That's a great question, actually. I like the way you work that question, the setup, the English setup. Feel free to expand. Ambition Matters. Go for it, bro. The floor is yours.
Who was that asked that question?
Tyler Glidist. It's on the screen.
Okay, gotcha. That's a very good question, and you know what? I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I can bring some clarity in this, and I think it'll make a lot of sense to you after I say this. When I say, you see the same behavior that we have that creates this obsession, unhealthy obsession, whatever it is. It could be PMO, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be women, lust, whatever it is. See that's obsession, except it's in the wrong direction, right? But what if you're able to take that obsession and put it in the right direction, right? So what if it is starting that business, being obsessed with it? You know, you're dreaming about it, you're thinking about it when you're eating, you're thinking about it when you're exercising. That unhealthy obsession, I wouldn't even say unhealthy, but it would be very healthy if it's something productive. But a lot of us, we have this obsession in this destructive behavior.
So he's saying, are you saying that they should go on a dopamine detox? No cell phone, no YouTube, no. I've said for myself, YouTube is the only platform I'm not quitting. But so why don't you talk a little bit about the dopamine detox?
So the dopamine detox. Now, there's nothing wrong with limiting your exposure to all of these devices or whatever, right? Because to live in the modern world, we have to have some exposure. So let's not self-deceive ourselves, and let's not set ourselves up for failure. However, I would say that you can use this as a temporary strategy to overcome. But if you're already not doing PMO, you are already having a dopamine detox, because that rewiring is happening, you know? And what happens is now you start to eat healthier, you start to exercise, right? Now, but the thing is, with the devices, I would say that, you know, keep your notifications, take your notifications out. Look at the phone when it's time, or look into these things. Yeah, because a lot of us, I think these people that are in charge of the social algorithm, they know what they're doing. That's why I say evil doesn't sleep. Why should you?
Yes,
right?
I like that.
They know what they're doing. They have the best, you know, like neuroscientists and marketing and psychologists. They're all working to get us addicted, right? So when you see a notification on your phone, what does that mean, right? You want to open up that notification. Why? Because our brain works on a reward system, and when we see that notification, we're looking for that validation hit, that dopamine hit. So we're all dopamine junkies in some way, right? So yes. you want to eliminate the notification. Go onto the privacy settings of the social app or whatever, whether it's Twitter, just reconstruct your own notification. If it's you know, Mansuperpower that's talking about something like this, yeah, you want to keep a notification when he's when he's doing something live, because that is adding value to your life.
Correct.
But a lot of the things that don't add value to our lives is what's taking so much of our time.
A lot of things that don't add value to our lives take so much of our time. Bro, this is powerful. Thank you, brother Tyler Gleditch. He spelled his name out for me actually. Thank you. Well, I actually want to say a special thanks to Tyler for remember you saying that in the chat, because this is your first time on camera, but you have been in the chat, interacting with the guys, interacting with me, always corroborating with with nothing but the heaviest insights. I mean, the best insights. You are very knowledgeable. You are very mature. You are very advanced and developed on this journey. I want to take the opportunity to say that to you live. Continue on your journey. You do have your own gift. The world is yours. The doors are open. I mean, you do have all of the knowledge. Now, here is how you're coming across to me. I was once where you are. All the knowledge, having accumulated all the insights, concepts, understanding, but I had not gotten to the place where I was not ready yet to go into the world and be a face for my knowledge, or put a face to my knowledge, or put a voice, a vocal, audible voice to my knowledge. So we know that is coming for you, because I purchased equipment. I started buying equipment in 2017, but I didn't start the channel until 2019, 2 years later. But
you know how many men had that same problem? A lot of men.
Yes, sir. Yes. So I've always had the wisdom. I've always had the knowledge, and I have way more knowledge and wisdom than I have put out on this channel so far. There are areas I have not touched. We have spirituality, we have metaphysics, we have emotional intelligence, psychology, we have the hero's journey. I mean, we have a lot of the, psychic work that I have not talked about, or maybe I've hinted at them on the channel. So there is a lot of potential in you. I just encourage you to keep going. One day I will be coming to your live. One day I will be coming on your channel to get inspiration from you. I actually believe that. So guys,
well, it's funny. I mean, technology hasn't been my strength when it comes to loading. Like, look what you're doing. I've always wanted to know what kind of work goes into what you're doing in that technical aspect. So I think a lot of us who have a lot of potential sometimes let technology get in the way of that.
I tell you, I'm willing to share whatever I know. Whatever I know, I have learned. Now, I do know I have a natural penchant, I think I want to say, I never followed it, for broadcasting. I've had my share. I've had experience in radio broadcasting back in Haiti and in Orlando. It just came to me. I never went for it. It just came to me. And so I think technology being cheaper now, being available to anybody, has made it possible for me to just tap into a natural penchant that I've had. I've learned everything here by myself and mostly on YouTube. I just have a certain, I don't know, the way my intelligence flows, the way my own creativity flows, that's probably the only unique part to it. But everything else is just out there and available. I asked a lot of questions. I learned. Listen, bro, I've spent a lot of sleepless nights, including last night, learning to do stuff. And I've gotten frustrated a lot. I've pushed the table, pushed the desk away and walk away and said, F this, F that. This is, I can't figure this out. But eventually I learn it. And I get to be good. And I'm telling you, I'm willing to actually share with you what I know. I actually am. Because it's the same thing I'm doing with Boss at Home, right? I couldn't get anybody out there. I've gone on guys' channels and left comments. Look, man, I appreciate your work. I'm trying to do what you're doing, or I'm trying to learn whatever lighting or camera set up. Can you share with me, or would you be willing to email back and forth with me? Crickets. No YouTuber. Even comments for collab. None. And so I'm doing what I see is not out there. So I'm willing to share with you what I know. If, whenever you're ready, whatever you would want to do,
Yeah, absolutely. I also asked a lot of people about how they get their lighting and all that stuff, and same thing happened, crickets. So
yes.
At some point, you just tend to learn as you go, and you start to build everything from the ground up, and now you have this wisdom you can pass on to others. Yeah. I just wish that there was more men who were more open about it.
Yes. And and sometimes we can wish, because I spent a lot of years wishing what I was thinking should be there, and it wasn't there. And I decided, when I came across the wisdom that whatever is not out there, but that's on my mind, then I am to extrapolate that from my mind and actually plant it into reality. I am to become that man that I wished existed. I am to become the big brother to the other brothers. I am to become that creator who is willing to give you a 1 hour free consultation and go online with you and teach you some of what I know. I am that guy because I needed that guy. He was not out there, and I decided to become him. So we can work on that and get it going, bro, because this is what this journey is all about. And like you said earlier about me, I am happy to do this work. It's my passion, or part of my passions. And I believe one day it'll pay off. Something has been telling me, bro, keep pushing. One day your channel will take off. These videos will be discovered, and guys will be like, damn, this is a treasure that's been waiting to be discovered, type of thing. So we have Brother Tyler. He's still talking to you, and I'm going to start right here. Okay, no, there we go. He says, ambition matters. Could you talk about the strategies you have for channeling your obsession? Do you have specific lines of self-talk or lines of thought? You can see it, bro, right? I'm just reading for everybody, but you can see it.
I could see it. Both. I would say both. The self-talk is one of the most important things. You see, in this life, it's never about what others say about us, but it'll always be about what we say about ourselves. That's the big thing. So the ability to talk to yourself, whether it's in the mirror, whether you're driving, that carries forward, because people don't have to believe in you. You have to believe in yourself. At times when I'm, affirming to myself, hey, I believe in me when others don't believe in me. I'm confident in myself when other people don't seem to be confident in what I'm doing. So at some point you have to be your own cheerleader, and like a lot of us, we pursue excellence, or we pursue success, and we think that we're going to have friends and family supporting us, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to develop this ability to be your own cheerleader. And in channeling your obsession, getting back to what you were saying there, Tyler, I would say that just identify what all the areas you're compelled to, because a lot of us are compelled in destructive areas, right? All I'm saying is be aware of being compelled of the destructive areas, and turn it around and be compelled to the constructive things that add value to your life. That's all I'm saying is take this obsession from the things that are doing harm to you, and point this obsession into the things that add value to you, and be mindful of that all the time. That's basically what I do to myself is, hey, instead of investing so much energy into this that is creating a result that I don't want, why don't I take this obsession and redirect it into the results I want to produce in my life?
Correct. I would add to that, Tyler. one of the practices that I go through is I ask myself, what else? There is this concept in economics called opportunity cost. It also in finances, but it's mostly in economics. Opportunity cost is what else could you be doing with the same resources that you're doing what you're doing right now that would give you a bigger ROI, a greater return on investment. I'm gonna say it again. For example, let's say I'm watching TV, right? Which I don't. By the way, guys, I haven't watched television since 2004. Last time I owned a television was 2004. We are in 2021. That's what? 17 years? Is it? I don't know. Yeah, 17 years, right?
Wow.
And which means I've had dates, I've had women who come to my apartment and they're like, where's the TV? I say, I don't have one, but I do have a laptop, I do have an iPad, and I do have a home library, so you're welcome to do anything you want on these, And they're like, nah, man, we need a TV, bro. Nah, okay, I can't keep coming back here and you don't have a TV. So that has used to limit my dating options, because I'm done. I'm never gonna go back to watching television. There's no need to. It's done me more good not to watch television, right? So let's say you're watching television. Well, what else could you be doing with the same resources that you're watching television? What are the resources? Attention, time, energy. Because you're consuming energy watching the television, right? You're giving it your attention and you're giving it your time. If you were to take those three resources, time, attention, energy, and let's say go and shoot a YouTube video, for example, right? Where the YouTube video will give you a greater return on investment. The investment is the same time, the same attention, and the same energy. What is the greater return that you will get on that YouTube video? Somebody will comment, somebody will thank you, somebody will say something good about you, somebody will say, well, I didn't know that, thank you for sharing that. Or, you know what, that's crazy, thank you for enlightening me. Or, bro, you good with what you're doing, keep going. That's a greater return than watching television, because you get no return on watching television. You think you're getting something, but there's no return on watching television. I still use that every single day. What else can I be doing with this time right now, with these resources right now that would deliver a greater return? Even in times when I lay down in bed and it doesn't seem like I'm going to fall asleep, where instead of staying in bed, still using resources, my attention, my time, and my energy, because I'm laying down here, it doesn't seem like I'm going to fall asleep. And you know those nights, right? Where it doesn't seem like you're going to fall asleep, really. Where instead of laying down there, still using my attention and my time, what else could I be doing? Well, let's go to the studio. Let's go do something that's going to bring a bigger return. So, and by the way, that's sex energy transmutation. You cannot transmute your energy except that you go this route. This is the way you convert your energy into something tangible that the world will thank you for and that you will be proud of. This is the way. There's no other way. He has another question for you. Also, what are you thinking about right before bed and immediately when you wake up? For what I understand, this time is the most fertile, yes, way into the subconscious mind. Very, very intelligent question.
I'll be glad to answer it. So I'm at a point right now in my life where I keep all devices out. I read a book because I realized that prior to going to bed, the last thing you consume tends to take its own momentum, because our brain is actually more active when we're sleeping than we are when we're awake.
Yes.
Right. So reading a book that has something to do with the skills you want to develop or whatever it is, but reading a good book based on philosophy, psychology, money, whatever it is, relationship, cryptocurrency, history, but something that you can use as practical wisdom. And reading that 30 minutes prior to bedtime. And for me, what I do is I get my mind ready for bed. I would drink chamomile tea to put me in a relaxed state and read a book. maybe a chapter or two, and then I lay down and go to sleep. And what I realize is that when I wake up, I'm inspired because of the last thing I put in my subconscious mind.
Interesting. And yes, that is true. And if you would want to know what I do, I actually sleep with affirmations. I have playlists. I have tons of playlists of affirmations, subliminal messages, and frequencies and sounds, entheogenic sounds that are designed by seasons, whatever I'm learning in the season, whatever I'm rewiring my brain for the season. I have these headphones that are called in-ear monitors. That's what the musicians wear on stage type of thing. Like you can sleep with them. They're made for that. They go inside the ears and they go behind your ears, and you lock them under your throat, under your chin right here, and you go to sleep. I put them on and I fire my playlist, and that I sleep with all the way in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is take a moment to take inventory of my mental space. Okay, how did I wake up right now? Where am I in space and time right now? And who am I in space and time right now? Because like the brother says, we are constantly taking stimuli throughout the day before we go to sleep, right? Do you know what happens to people when they wake up on the wrong side of the bed? That saying, it's because people wake up with the wrong identity and they wake up with another mindset than they had the day before. And so I've learned to check in with myself on what is my identity as I wake up right now today. Well, I'm still a man on semen retention. I'm still a man on sex energy transmutation. I'm still a man of passion. I'm still doing this work. I still have these dreams. I still have this goal. Okay, cool. Now that I am in agreement with who I truly am and it resonates with who I really know that I am, let me move forward. I think that's very important to reset the mind to continue on a previous understanding of yourself. Because, for example, have you ever woken up in the morning and it seems like you don't know who you are? You wake up and you're like, I don't know, I'm not feeling like myself today. And you've heard those statements from people a lot. It's because they wake up and they don't check in with themselves. They don't start or they don't continue the previous day understanding of themselves, definition of themselves, and identity of themselves. I've found that to be very powerful. I've been practicing it for years. And then I'll move on with other practices with answering the call of nature, like somebody says, number one. Number two, drinking some water. Oh, and I have a ritual with supplements. I take my supplements, my ginseng, my roots, and my multivitamins, and then continue with other activities that get me into creativity later on. I think you have another. Yeah. He was saying yes, IEMs. Yes, sir. I know them as IEMs, in-ear monitors. Yes, that's how I know them. I don't know, CIEM. What would the C stand for? Yeah, I know them as IEMs, in-ear monitors. Yes, very, very. They're not cheap. Mine cost about $150, but dude, it was worth it. I keep them. That's the only use I have for them, is to lay down.
I just wanted to add something really quickly here.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about, like a lot of these things that go through our mind and how are we showing up for ourselves, I think the problem is that in the morning we don't have the intentions we don't have the right intentions to place where our attention goes. And so a lot of us, what do is we keep our cell phones near our pillow, and the first thing we do when we wake up is we look at our cell phone and we go through the messages and notifications, and that causes us to react. Now our whole day, we're starting this day with reactions.
Mm-hmm.
With reactions. That's not a good place to be, because you're not in a creative state, because these reactions are putting you in survival mode, and you cannot create if you're in survival mode.
Right. Yes, I absolutely agree. The brother is saying, that might be, I got you. That might be his problem. The majority of people wake up with the wrong identity. They wake up with a brand new identity than they had yesterday. They wake up with a brand new philosophy than they had yesterday. And that's a fragmented life. That's a discombobulated life. You cannot continue your old projects. You cannot stay on your projects if you are a different man today. You may just jerk off today because you wake up as a different man. You don't have that check-in, that understanding that I'm still the same man. I'm still practicing the same things. I'm still going the same places in life, because things are always pulling us wherever. I like to say, everybody and everything and every company is calling for your attention. Your attention is golden. It's the way you accomplish. Boss at Home is in the house. Your attention is the way you create. Your attention is the lifeblood of manifestation. That's what we say in metaphysics, right? As a guy who's dabbled, I want to say, just to be modest, in metaphysics. Attention is the lifeblood of manifestation. That which you pay attention to will manifest into your life. It has to come, because, like they say, Buddha has said, what you think you become. That's exactly true. What you put attention on, you become. And so everything and everybody is pulling your attention. You have to give your attention to yourself first. I think I have a video where I talked about something like that. And like I said to you earlier, a lot of my knowledge I still haven't touched on when it comes to this word. But for example, this area here, talking about metaphysics, what you give your attention to will become you, will grow on you, or you will become. And so these things and these people who are seeking your attention are benefiting from your attention, because, for example, the Bible says faith comes by hearing. So that which you subject yourself to hear a lot of, that means you give attention to, faith will come from that. That means you will begin to believe in that thing. You will begin to follow that thing, and that thing will begin to grow on you. So take your attention and entirely, if not almost entirely, like the brother said earlier, be selfish with it and give yourself that attention. Ross at Home, hello, gentlemen, just coming through on the go right now. I salute you, my brother. Thank you for stopping by.
Salute to Boss Up at Home. Salute.
Yes, sir. I definitely like what I'm hearing from the both of you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for stopping by. And so, hey, Tyler, thank you for all these questions, man. Thank you for all these thought-provoking questions. And there you go, Boss at Home. Ambition matters. And we are moving on to our third and last point.
Oh, this is going to be a special one. I think this will answer a lot of people's questions.
Yes, sir. And number 3 is kill what kills you. So we've talked about.
Yeah. Now, the book that I'm writing right now, that's the title of my book, Kill What Kills You. And I'm writing this book for myself, because nobody wrote it for me. So therefore, other people can benefit from that.
Ooh. Just to chime in, earlier I said part of my philosophy is the problems that you are confronted with that have no solutions, apparently to you, you are called to provide solutions to. The products that you're looking for that don't exist, that you really believe should exist, you are called to create. The book that you think should exist, you are called to write. If you haven't found it, it's in you. It's just not out there. It's in you. So yeah, indeed, man. So go ahead. Kill what kills you. Go ahead.
So
share the book with us.
I think so. Kill what kills you. For me, it's an antidote to modern vices and self-destruction, right? And a lot of us what we don't understand is our biggest obstacle is in our own self-destructive behavior. And I know you mentioned that with one of your episodes, the obstacle is the way. And that resonated with me so much, because I realized that, when things are not going our way, we tend to rely on self-destructive behavior, because that's what gives us a sense of false peace, but we think it's actually real peace. And so we get caught up in life, and like, so much time has gone by, we're not realizing it. What we are, we're like, there's a theory, not a theory, but when you're cooking a frog, like if you put the frog in boiled hot water, the frog will jump out, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
But if you put the frog in lukewarm water and you turn the stove up, and the temperature is going up and up and up, that frog doesn't know that it's being cooked alive. And that's what's happening with all of us, with our own self-destructive behavior.
Let that marinate. Welcome to Man's Superpower. Feel your power, bro.
Man's superpower.
Man, feel your power, bro. We are being cooked alive and we don't know it, because
so much time has passed by.
So in terms of killing what kills you, so let's say in the practice of in the area of NoFap and semen retention, how would we apply that?
Kill what kills you. So just understand that, that self-destructive part of us is our dark side. And sometimes our successes come from managing our dark side, right? And if there's one thing I notice about successful people and entrepreneurs, they all have an addictive personality. So that should show a lot to us. Is
Obsessive.
that obsessive? We're obsessive, compulsive, except they've channeled that obsession into the success that they're doing. And that's one thing I notice about entrepreneurs. It's hard to compete with someone who's obsessed in their art, who's obsessed in their writing.
It's hard to compete with someone who's obsessed. I agree. It's hard to compete with someone who's obsessed with their craft. You'll be crazy. You might as well just go and find something to be obsessed about, because you will have to take them out. That's the only way you can stop them. And yes, I've heard that. And I think that's enthusiasm, right? That's enthusiasm on steroid, right? We would say that's the enthusiasm on steroids. You have to become obsessed, because some days you're going to get up, you don't want to go and do whatever. And yes, I agree. Man, this has been powerful, full of insights and powerful gems. Guys, send your questions in for Ambition Matters. This young man here in Toronto, Canada. Give it up for Toronto, Canada. We appreciate you coming on, bro. And here we are. And this is how we create, right? You were in the chat, and I said, man, I like what you're saying in the chat. Would you mind coming on and chopping it up with me? And you said yes, and here we are. And this is how creation happens. This is how collaboration happens, obviously. And this is how men get ahead. This is how men get ahead.
Even the men that are tuning in right now, the reason why they're listening to this is because our whole entire vibration is on the same frequency.
Yeah.
Right. So, I realized that, because I always say this, your vibe attracts to your tribe, and there's so much weight behind those words, because it really does. Now, in this world, whatever we do, how we look, we're not everybody's cup of tea, but there are people that think like us, like you and I right now. Just a couple of weeks ago, you didn't know that I was listening to your podcast, but here I am now, right? So what I say is that, there's always going to be people that think like you, and sometimes you got to break away from your circle, because your circle sometimes is not on the same frequency as you. And they always say you are the total sum of the 5 people you hang with. So if you're hanging with 5 like obese people, you're going to be number 6.
Right.
If you're hanging out with 5 millionaires, you're going to be the 6th. If you're hanging around with 5 fit people, you're going to be the 6th. So your environment is always going to be more powerful than your willpower.
Your environment is more powerful. I like to say this about environment. I like to say, and even about this work, your environment, actually it's true. Psychologically and neuroscientifically, your environment has a drug-like effect on you. As soon as you enter your house, you become the person who lives in that house. Whatever habits that you've been practicing in that house, once you open the doors and go in, that persona or that persona comes over you, but you're unaware of it though. I like to say your environment puts you in a trance state. Once you enter that house, for example, for a woman who likes to makes a lot of noise, right? She's always unhappy. As soon as she enters the house, she enters that state. So it doesn't matter at work if she was happy or somewhat, but now she is unhappy, even thinking about going home. And so it's important to keep shaking ourselves off so that we start from a clean slate each time we are in a certain environment. Or actually, like Jason Silva, whom I love very much and I follow his work, talks about we have to engineer our environments, because we create the environment and the environment comes back and returns the favor and create us. Right? So if you have a TV in the center of the living room and the remotes are on the couches or on the table, where it's easy to reach for the remote and turn on the TV, because that's your environment. That's how the environment is set up. But if you had a bookcase there, right by the wall that you come in, and every day you come in, you see that bookcase, eventually one day you will pick up a book and start reading. So the environment that you create eventually creates you. It returns the favor. It influences you. So environments are very important. And I like to say environments are not only physical. They are mental, psychological, and emotional. In the case of the friends you talked about, right? Well, if you hang out with 5 friends, that environment is not physical. Yeah, you might end up meeting with them, but you can have friends that you only talk on the phone with. But that environment now would be mental, psychological, and emotional. So make no mistake, environment is not only limited to physical space in time. It is mental, psychological, and emotional. The people you hang out with is the psychological and mental space or environment that you dwell in.
I couldn't have said that any better, man. That resonates with me, because I know how powerful it is when you're giving access to your subconscious mind to the TV or to even somebody else. If you're talking to a person who's always complaining, mm-hmm. now you're on this complaining frequency. And now what happens is that person starts to project self-doubt onto you. Mm-hmm. And you might not know this, but some part of the day you start to feel like you have self-doubt now, and you don't know where it came from.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I look at you should always be striving to hang around or talk to people that are encouraging you, that want the best from you. You know, you want to rejoice in their success, and you want them to rejoice in your success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just happy for the work that we're doing, the work that we have done in our lives. Obviously, guys, be encouraged where you are on your journey, because to be able to be here, to be streaming on YouTube and to be having this conversation, to have this channel, it means that I've done the work that you may be doing right now. And your time is coming to get to the point where you can connect with people and have influence. So be encouraged on your journey. Be encouraged into whatever you're learning. Always know that something is always happening. So know that your brain is always being rewired, and just make sure that it's being rewired positively, because somebody's always rewiring your brain for you. And of course, rewiring now is the new word for brainwashing, and that's exactly what it is. And if you want an example of brainwashing, take my channel. This is brainwashing. This is basically brainwashing you to become a different man, to become more or less like what I know, to share the same viewpoints, and to take on the same philosophy. It's brainwashing. So be careful who you associate with, because your brain is being washed or rewired anyway and all the time. Let's get to your bonus point, my brother.
Oh yes, the power of resilience. This is a really good one. I think a lot of us are looking for a way to get back on the discipline, to get back on discipline or get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
When you pee more, or when you do something you're not happy about, you feel like, oh, I got to start all over again. And that's a very bad place to be because of the way you're perceiving it. It's like, again, falling off the top of the mountain and starting back in the wilderness, right? You got to go through this journey and process again. Now, the more times you fall off the mountain, the more valuable you start to realize how valuable the journey is. And you don't want to get knocked off the mountain again, because you know how much work and effort you put into climbing up this mountain. So I would say when it comes to resilience, just understand that how you see yourself, how you see the world, and the ability that you have right now to start all over again. But not only that, I would say to get back on discipline or get back on track, all you need is a little bit of momentum. Yeah, it might take 3 days until you get back your energy, but what are you willing to do in those 3 days? Are you going to engage in gluttony, mindless entertainment, just to wait until you get your energy back? What happened. Don't dwell up in the past. Just keep moving forward and keep moving the needle of life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I absolutely agree. I'm in 100% agreement with everything you've said. Resilience. I mean, how would modern life be if the creators of the ancient generations didn't have resilience? Can you imagine having any of this technology, period, without resilience? I mean, it takes a lot to create stuff, to make stuff, to perfect stuff. And like Elon Musk says, don't quit unless you are forced to quit. So put quitting on an external factor. But as far as you are concerned, you're not quitting. And that's a good way of looking at it. As far as I am concerned, I am not quitting. And so long that the current government does not turn into a dictatorship where I would be forced to stop, I ain't quitting. So have that backbone, just have that spirit of life is yours, everything. I mean, life is yours, like go for it, life is yours. And of course, I think a lot of times people back down, or guys back down, because this world is becoming gynocentric, more and more gynocentric and feminist. Guys are afraid of being called dickheads. Guys are afraid of being called selfish. Guys are afraid of being called arrogant. And if you're called arrogant, I'm telling you, bro, unless you're obnoxious, it's a compliment to you. If you're called selfish, unless you're obnoxious, it's a compliment to you. From the point of view.
Now, you said arrogance. Sometimes I get that too. You know what it is that most people, it's so easy to mistake confidence for
confidence.
Arrogance,
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So with the people that tell you that you're arrogant are usually the insecure people.
Yeah.
Right? So you're confident around insecure people, and insecure people see that as arrogance because they don't feel secure with themselves, but you do. And it's challenging, their reality.
Prime example, right? I have lots of examples. So let's say I had a buddy, a sales consultant like myself back when I worked at CarMax, who he said, David, let's go to work. Let's go to lunch. I'm buying you lunch. Let's go to lunch, because he was really among the biggest salesperson. So he made triple whatever everybody. So he would take guys to lunch, be like, yo, I got the money to spend on you. And then that one day I said, well, where are we going? He said, it doesn't matter where we're going, David. I'm buying you lunch. I said, nah, it matters, because guess what? You know, N-word, I have money too. I can feed myself. So if you're feeding me, I want to make sure that I'm going to eat something that I want to eat. It's not because the fact that you're feeding me, I should go and eat something that I wouldn't feed myself. You understand? And of course, he was a big alpha. He understood right there and then. Said, man, you're too cocky. You're too confident in yourself. But it's something like that. Somebody else would have called me arrogant. And I've been called entitled for saying something along that line. Like, yeah, I understand that you're doing this for me, but I can't let you do it in a way that I wouldn't do it for myself. You understand? And of course, somebody said, well, you have a sense of entitlement because you should just be happy that I'm doing it for you. So this is the work that we want to do. We want to inculcate into men. We want to encourage men to take that strong, powerful position. Like, I don't care if you're doing it for me as a favor. I want to make sure you do it in a way that's going to please me and that's not going to make me feel like, man, I wouldn't have done that thing for myself. You can take that into dating, for example. A lot of guys are with women who treat them the way they wouldn't treat themselves. I had a relationship that I had to let go because I got to the place where I was like, okay, you're not loving me the way I love myself more than the way you're loving me. The way you love me is the way that I actually hate myself. If I do those things, the things that you do to me, the way that you treat me, if I did those things to myself, I would think that I hate myself. You understand? So it's not arrogance, it's high levels of self-confidence and crazy self-belief.
Yes. I 100% agree with you too. Whatever you just said resonated with me so much because I go through the same thing. I think in life, our choices create our own biography. And if you think about this, David, you're expressing your philosophy from your own biography. So every choice we make actually creates our biography. If we were to write a book on our life, the past 10 years, that's biography. So we are right now exactly where we are because of our thoughts, our choices, our behavior. It's not by an accident where you are. That's why I always say take responsibility for your life right now, because nobody's going to do the push-ups for you. Nobody's going to write that book for you. Nobody's going to inspire you. Everything comes within, and you have to be your own cheerleader, even when the odds are stacked against you. And for some reason, when you have the ability to have faith in something you can't see, the whole universe and circumstances start to rearrange for you.
And I like that. My brother, man, thank you for stopping by. Thank you we finally put this together. I appreciate you for coming through. Man, it's a lot more we could say, but we are still under the constraints of time. It's good for self-discipline. Fellas, send your questions, comments, words of gratitude to Ambition Matters and Men Superpower TV or anything as we are winding down. This was a great session, but I see it as an introduction session, though. You know, I see it as an Indeed, man. This is beautiful.
I appreciate the man superpower.
Man's superpower.
The man's superpower.
Man superpower, bless.
Man's superpower.
Guys, any questions, comments? If you're here for the first time, this is Man Superpower TV. We talk a lot about NoFap, semen retention, and personal empowerment for men, where we believe you can achieve that level of personal empowerment that makes you so confident and so believe in yourself that you get called arrogant. It's a beautiful life. I am 41 now. I was addicted to PMO from 13 to 36 because I found NoFap and semen retention about 5 years ago. This work here is the result of having embarked on that journey. And so here I am. I think I'm about 160 videos a year and a half later. That's a lot, but I could have produced way more videos than that if I were more self-disciplined in the beginning, or even still now. But nonetheless, I'm satisfied I've touched a lot of lives. And tonight I'm chopping it up with, we've been chopping it up with my brother Ambition Matters for the first time, and I'm hoping this is not his last time. So if you like this content, subscribe to our channel. If you want to work with me one-on-one to help you understand the nuances of this journey to get really the practices, because I put a lot of the concepts out there, but the practices, sometimes you just need someone to text in private. Sometimes you just need someone to check on you. I can't tell you how many times I've texted a client and he's like, dude, I needed this text message. I just reached for my laptop. I just reached for my phone. I was about to fap. If you didn't text me that night, I definitely would have relapsed, type of thing, right? So you can check Patreon. The tiers on Patreon are solely coaching, one-on-one coaching, one phone call a week, and then continuing support through text messages. Yes, sir. You can do that. Thanks for all your knowledge. We appreciate that, my brother. Let's put that on. Oh, this is from Merca. Yes, indeed. My man. So Ambition Matters, share a few words with us as we conclude. We have 11 minutes to go. As we wait for some questions or comments, tell us some more. The other points we didn't get to work into the schedule. You can talk about it. I don't quite remember. Oh, the universe is mental is one of them.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So yeah, I guess we can talk about that. The universe is mental because our reality is shaped through consciousness and our awareness. I find that when you're not a conscious creator, you become very compulsive and you start to have compulsive behavior. If you're not a conscious creator, your compulsive behavior starts to come out. And a lot of us, when we engage in compulsive behavior, we start to lose our ability to consciously create. That's why I say the universe is mental. So the universe opens up the doors for people that are operating on a high frequency and high vibration, high magnetism. And the fastest way you can increase your energy is through this practice that David always talks about. To be the practitioner of semen retention is to increase your energy. Basically, you become an energy millionaire, right? So if you look at energy and money, it's still frequency, it's still vibration, and if you have low energy, you tend to have lower money. And one thing I learned, listen and pay attention very carefully. Low energy people have low income. High energy people have high income.
Yes. And another way of putting it, enthusiastic people have high incomes or high earners. Unenthusiastic people who drag around without energy, have low income. It has a direct reciprocal relationship, proportional relationship to each other. Yes. And that goes back to what we said earlier, that we've heard from the experts on self-development that 80% of success is enthusiasm. Basically increasing your level of energy and enthusiasm to infinite levels. I mean, if you think of people like Tony Robbins, for example, this guy has crazy amount of energy. I mean, we can't expect nothing but billions of dollars following this guy, and Oprah Winfrey, and then so many other guys out there, right? I'll take Gary Vee, for example. I mean, crazy levels of energy, enthusiasm. You have to. And of course, people just hand money to people like that. People just sign up a brand new car for individuals like that. I hope you know that, right? I hope that's how these people receive a brand new car for their birthdays. And somebody says, we'll pay your total mortgage for a year type of thing. Send a check. That's how it is. There's something for pastors in the church. The pastor operates at such a high level that the person in the pew just feels compelled to write a check for $500 and walk up front and put it in the offering basket. Your level of energy compels your level of blessings that come your way. If we want to use blessings to mean anything that you receive, gifts, financial, or be it otherwise. So, man, this session was incredible. This session was tight, but I still feel like we only scratched the surface. Actually, it's more than a feeling, it's a reality. We talked about a lot of points that can be a show by themselves, but that's the nature of the work. I'm looking forward to having you back. I'm looking forward to talking to you more, and so we can continue getting this knowledge out there, bro. I think you have a question. Do you prefer... let's see. Tyler is still talking. Tyler talks a lot. So Tyler... all right. No. This is your first time, Tyler. So I don't know if that's your first time on the channel, but I'm saying all the comments and the interaction. So I give you a few more sessions like Ambition Matters. Let's see your faithfulness, and then you see if you qualify, because you got to show some level of faithfulness.
What was the question that he asked? I can't see it.
Do you pretend you're making love to your work, or do you feel channel up your spine, that strong deep in the balls horniness? Okay, I think that sounds like a sex energy transmutation question.
It is. It is. I think you and I could answer that very easily, because I know you you talked about it in one of your videos when you said that when you're always horny, that's how life should be. Right?
Yeah.
This horniness comes from this visceral, this burning desire, this motivation to penetrate the world with your ideas, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think what he's talking about is capitalizing on that energy.
Okay. So he's saying there was the question in two parts because of space. When you're in deep retention, 30 days plus, greater than 30 days, what do you do when you feel the heat, the tension, the power? Come on. Do you reject it? Do you meditate with it? And then he continued, do you pretend you're making love to your work? Do you feel it channel up the spine? I'm going to tell you, bro. I recently made a short where I said, that's the time to have sex. The time to have sex is not when you're feeling horny. It's when you're feeling the heat. And it's a different feeling. You have to go through the experience and find it for yourself. I can't help you have that visceral experience in your body, right? It's a different type of horniness. It's not, I want to have sex. It's like what I said in the short. It's like, I want to move that house. I want to chop that tree down. Oh my God, I want to move the water out of the ocean. Ooh, if only I could. That's the state. That state is the state to create stuff. It's the state. When I'm in that state, that's when I sit down and just create stuff. I sit down at the desk, and when I wake up, I'm like, what did I create? How did all this come about? How did I create all these layers and all these scenes, for example, right? Or how did I come up with that intro by myself? Never learned it, never whatever. And so the same thing for this, right? I'm gonna play this, right? The same thing for this. I was feeling the heat. I'm gonna continue answering the question, right? But I was feeling the heat. It was over me. I was like, yeah, let's do this. And I came home, sat down, and here is the result.
I appreciate the man superpower.
Man's superpower.
The man's superpower.
Man superpower. Bless.
Man's superpower.
So, David, let's go. Get after your goals. Make that money today. Let's go. Man, I owe you the world right now, dude. Like, I think your services are way undervalued.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
This is a crazy ass testimony. So, David, let's go.
Man's superpower.
Welcome to Man's Superpower. Feel your power, bro.
Man's superpower.
And so I broke the whole clip down into 3 different other smaller pieces, right? So here was what I'm saying. I've never particularly learned anything about creating radio spots, although I've been in broadcast, or anything about modifying audios. But you have to understand, here's the thing. When you're feeling the heat, you are in direct connection with the universal knowledge and wisdom. So when you sit down, all that channels through. Remember, in the Akashic records, all knowledge is stored in the air. And like Napoleon Hill says, when that energy is high, you get connected to realms of knowledge inaccessible to other men and even to you at other times. And so you're able to just produce stuff. And this is what could be said. This is how you could say you're making love to your work. Because actually, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger says, after a workout, when you're feeling the heat, or after you sit down and do work, it does feel like you just had an orgasm. Just like I used to be in sports cars. I still am, but I don't own them no more. My last car was a 392 Challenger 6-speed manual. So after hitting the highway and shifting gears, and after a good 10 minutes of crazy driving, I felt like I just had an orgasm. Like I literally feel sexually satisfied. So
David, I just want to add one thing there.
Yeah.
You talked about, this is how you know the universe messes with us. My sport car was a Dodge Challenger SRT8.
My thing was red on red, bro. I actually transferred it from another state. Paid about $1,000 to transfer it to another state. I cut the pipes. I didn't remove the catalytic converters. I cut the pipes. Man, I literally felt like I just had an orgasm. It's the same thing when I sit down to do work. When I feel the heat, it felt like I just had an orgasm. Guess what? If a chick texts or calls, I'm not interested. Or even with my own girl, now that I have one, I'm not interested, because I basically just had an experience like I had just had an orgasm. Now, I no longer feel the spinal ascension type of experience no more. I think I felt that 4, 5, 6 months into the journey, but I no longer have that sensation. But it's still happening though. By hedonic adaptation, my body has gotten used to it. I want you to understand, my body has gotten used to it. I think I don't feel the visceral sensation of the energy moving from the base of my spine all the way to my crown chakra, right? If you want to use the chakra system to explain that. But I think it still happens. Yes, because that when you feel the heat, it's you get the hardest erection at your pelvic floor. It's an erection that you feel at your lower back, right? It's not an ordinary erection. And that's the time to do work. That's the time. That's what I preach. That's the time to do something non-sexual. Anything not robbing a bank, but anything productive, non-sexual. I think perhaps that can be said to be making love to your work. What else did he say? I no longer meditate with it. I'm always meditating, meaning that I don't have specific times that I meditate. Before I sit down here, everything's set up. I came and did a little meditation. So I don't sit with it and meditate. I sit with it and create. Now, here's the difference. Depending on where you are on the journey, you might need to sit and meditate with it, because that sets a discipline in you and that helps you to absorb the energy better. But then when you get further down the road, because meditation is metaphysical creation, but the metaphysical creation still requires physical work from you, right? You still need to do work. And so I'm at the stage where when I feel the energy, there's no need for me to go and sit and do metaphysical creation. There is need for me rather to do the actual work and get something created, if that makes sense to you. Guys, man, this was a great session. Tyler, keep coming. You might be on next.
Yeah, Tyler's got a lot of good questions, man.
Yeah, definitely. That's a guy who's doing the work. You can always tell who's doing the work. You can always tell who's far on the journey. It's every man, it's your journey to your own self. There's no comparison between men. And when it comes to this journey, I'm on mine, you're on yours, but we can still share insights for you who have not been who are not where I am. And that's all it is. Y'all are great. Thanks so much. We appreciate you for stopping by, brother. Thank you. You help us keep going. Well, fellas, our time has expired. We have hit 2 hours and 16 minutes. Let's go out just for the sake of self-discipline on this journey. Ambition Matters, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate that, brother. We were able to do it, but we only just touched the surface. We only scratched the surface, just the tip of the iceberg. You are invited back whenever we can do it, so we can go deeper discussing those topics. Any last word before we hit that finish button?
Yeah, I would say that when you wake up in the morning, pay attention to your nutrition. Something that I do is when I wake up, I drink lemon water with Himalayan sea salt to give me the minerals and the alkaline body environment, because that goes straight to your reproductive system since it's made out of vitamins and nutrients. So your strength comes from vitamins, nutrients, minerals, and just focus on taking care of your body. When you focus on taking care of your body starts to take care of your mind.
Yes, your body and your mind have a what we call not a reciprocal relationship. It is a reciprocal relationship, a psychosomatic relationship. Your mind affects your body and your body affects your mind. And of course, when you study metaphysical concepts further, you realize they are the same. The mind and the body are just the same on different frequencies. Guys, if you are new to my work, consider subscribing for more. Hit that notification bell. If you want to work with me one-on-one, check that Patreon link in the description box below. I'll see you next time, which is actually tomorrow night. We have another show, and that is something new that I'm starting. It's a NoFap Semen Retention live coaching call. I have a phone number that guys in the chat can call and ask questions live and talk live, because it's sometimes there's a restrictions on the chat, right? If you have the guts for it, it's not videos, so you don't have to be scared. That's exactly why I make it audio voice call. You call, we talk, we can have that back and forth dialogue like the regular radio broadcast, right? You remember you used to call and then ask questions and talk, as opposed to chatting and going back and forth. That's starting tomorrow. Hopefully it picks up. Hopefully guys are bold enough to call and have that voice conversation. And I'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, remember, you are on the right path. Remember, this journey is for you. You didn't come across this journey by accident. The universe wanted you to be on this journey. And since I started with some technical difficulties, I'm hoping that everything else is still working. And if they are, I'll see you tomorrow. Ambition Matters, you can stay online, and so we can, have a few words before we finish. You are on the right path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery, the journey of self-love, the journey of